Trinidad Beer, Liquor, and Wine Depot.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bolton, second by Mr. Shu. Any discussion or questions from council? And seeing none, I think we're ready for the roll call.
Bolton?
Yes.
Donato?
Yes.
Matei?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Velasquez?
Yes.
Beck Gonzalez?
Yes. Thank you. We're going to go to the next agenda item, which is petitions or communications, oral or written. And Ms. Garrett is providing me the sign-up sheet. And Ms. Marilyn Lusler is here this evening. Welcome, Ms. Lusler.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you with us, and it looks like you're going to talk to us about arts and culture and the creative district.
That's correct, and since I'm under public comments, I know that I'm fairly limited, so I won't do a long report this evening. I'm assuming that you all have in your packets or have received the information regarding our purchase of Michael Musselwhite's sculpture. And we have, working with Lewis, selected a location which will be in the grassy area that side of City Hall. And Lewis has called for utility locators, so we'll know that we won't be digging anything of vital importance up. We are really asking for a favor here this evening because we have our creative district team who will come on the 30th of this month to inspect our community. And what we might need from the city would be a pedestal, a triangular shape, 4 feet on each side, poured, and Mr. Musselwhite will come and install bolts. He will bring the base portion of the sculpture so that those bolts are properly situated in the concrete. They will have the locating done for utilities by Thursday afternoon. So if at all possible, if we might have a contact or can arrange for that concrete base to be poured on Friday, it could set up over the weekend, and then Mr. Musselwhite can come and simply install the base for his sculpture. He has also created a triangular plaque that will read, I don't have the exact wording right now, I have a photograph that I can send off to you, but it is in honor of the ranchers, the farmers, and the miners of Los Animas County. So that will be installed as well in that concrete base, and then it's just a matter of screwing the thing down. So we'd love to have that completed by the 30th, which is a week from Thursday. So that's fairly close. Were there any questions regarding the sculpture itself, or the installation or location, or?
Excuse me, if we're going to be putting a concrete pedestal, I presume that it's going to be permanent?
Yes.
Like for forever and ever?
Forever and ever. It will
Okay.
belong to the city of Trinidad.
And have you anticipated what the cost of that pedestal might be?
No, I have not. When we presented, a couple of months ago, we talked about the city taking care of that portion of it, the concrete pedestal. But no, I do not know.
Mr. Aker, can you help us there?
I believe we can help, as we've done with others with parks and boulevards. I think we can, they'll do the work and they can put the pedestal in, similar to what we've done with the artwork that's been put in the Kit Carson Park. I'll work with, she can work through my office, and I'll work with Mr. With our Parks and Boulevards department to get that taken care of.
Very good.
Wonderful.
Ms. Loser, so you just contact Mr. Aker and we'll put you to work on that.
And also I have our Arts and Cultural Advisory Commission financial report for you.
Thank you.
That was approved in our meeting, so I'll give that to Audrey and she can make sure that you receive all of that. A couple of things that I'd like to quickly mention also. Arts and Culture has provided our local creative businesses this sign. We did double-sided because we'll catch them coming and going into businesses. This business is proud to be a Colorado creative industry. So this supports those businesses that use creativity in whatever manner. It's not just about the arts with this Creative District program, We spoke with Nana and Nanos, for example, and said, what do you think is a creative district? And the answer was, we've survived. So sometimes it's not a matter of any, fancy schmancy ideas, but just figuring out new ways to work through difficult economies and that sort of thing. So we're handing these out. We've got 75 of them and can always print more. And that will, again, recognize those businesses who are supportive of the creative district designation and who are still here. So we're happy to do that. Two things tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on this level. I'm not sure if it'll be in here or in the conference room. There is a writing session for our final application to creative districts. Last year we had about 20 people, I believe, who met from around the community and gave us updates on things that were happening within their organization, their business, whatever. So we're holding that again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Our application is due on the 24th of May. So we're getting down to the wire. Louis and Tara have done a spectacular job of gathering things. We've been using Dropbox, which is wonderful, so everyone can put letters of support and such in. Thank you very much for the resolution that you'll be passing this evening. That's extremely important to have local government as supporters too. It's all the collaboration and working together within the community that's important. So we want a parade and we want a big party if we get this designation. so plan on that.
And we will know the results by June 12th.
14th actually.
14th?
On that.
Okay.
Yes, the 14th.
Very soon.
So it's a quick turnaround. And this time we luckily are applying against only the 12 other emerging and prospective districts. So we have a much better shot. They will award 5 new districts and hopefully we'll be one of those 5. If we wait until the next round, which is January 2014, we're applying against the entire state. So that's the Aspens and the Breckenridges and all of those other communities. So we have found tremendous support within the community. Last time we had, I think, 220 some signatures of support. We have over 650 this time, and we still haven't collected all of the sheets. We had 22 letters of support, and this time, I'm not sure what the count is right now, but probably close to 50 anyway. So again, we're really going hard and heavy for it. So I thank you for the city's support as well. We also have provided funding to the Trinidad Community Foundation, Mount Carmel, who have printed these posters that will go around town supporting the art treks again this summer. So there's a great deal going on, and at another time I will have a longer report for you, okay? This is my short version. So any questions on anything arts and culture might be doing right now?
If we get the designation, my understanding is it's ours and we don't have to like reapply?
Never, no,
Okay.
it's ours. And the thing is, if we get it, and that's been a question commonly asked by community members and business owners, is first of all, we'll have $25,000 that comes from the state for technical support, which we would hope to leverage into at least $50,000 up to $75,000 that we can utilize. We would get signage from CDOT along I-25 both directions saying you are entering a Colorado Creative District. We will tie into Colorado's tourism and marketing dollars without having to put anything into that. The Creative Industries currently has funding through 2014, so it may be, unless they get additional funding, that there will only be 12 creative districts in the state. So we're certainly hoping to be one of those 12. It just ties into so many things on a larger scale that would be helpful to us for economic growth and all sorts of good things. Get those people off the interstate.
I've seen the list of the other communities, but I can't at the moment remember. How many of them are situated on an interstate?
Pueblo, Colorado Springs, there are several. The thing is too though, we got a designation the first round, which was really fantastic. Pueblo is a prospective creative district, so they're one tier above us. Colorado Springs is at the same level as we are, as is Parker. There are numerous other communities. The ones that we're really vying against are places like Ridgeway and Telluride. At the recent Creative Industries Summit in Pueblo, we overheard conversation from representatives from Parker, and they were very upset with their city council because their city council could not determine how to spend $25 million, whether to upgrade their arts and cultural center or build a new police station. Well, needless to say, we were gagging at that, you know? So we're hoping that they see it in the way that we see it. Places like Telluride and Parker don't really need this. Trinidad really needs this. So we want it to be a sustainable economic engine that will help everyone in the community, not just the arts. Again, it's across the board. So that's the goal. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Give that to you for your records. The next agenda item is item number 5, and that's council reports. The purpose is to allow individual council members to report on meetings, events, training opportunities, and other activities that they really recently participated in or that they know will affect the community. And I will call upon council members in order. This time I want to start on my far left. We're switching it up a little bit. Mr. Bonato.
You're calling me curveballs, aren't you? Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have a couple items I wrote down here so it wouldn't skip my mind. And I would just like to remind everyone about the annual spaghetti dinner sponsored by the Sayers Senior Citizens on Sunday, June the 2nd. I hope we can all turn out to support this major fundraising event for our Senior Citizen Center. The meal will be served from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and I believe the charge is $7 a person. So I'm asking you and all our community if you could get out there and support and attend this major function for our senior citizens. I think it's well deserving for us. And my other thing I just wanted to report on, I would also want to thank everyone who participated in the Armed Forces Day parade that was held last Saturday. It was a real nice, and it was a pleasure to meet the Grand Marshal of the parade, Lieutenant Colonel Joe Maurer. Especially we need to thank the Girl Scouts and the Kiwanis group for providing the food at Chimino Park after the parade. It was a very nice event, and I hope it will be even bigger next year. That's all I have to report on.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm up.
Well, last go around.
I do want to.
Okay, I just want to be sure to remind everybody about the Santa Fe Trail Days that will be held on Friday, June the 7th and Saturday, June the 8th. There will be a street dance, live entertainment, children's games, food and craft vendors, and this year the coal car race will be held once again. That was very popular a couple of years ago, so we should all try to support the local event.
Ms. Niles.
Good, I'll just mention that Councilman Shu and I will be participating in mediation, as will Mr. Aker, for the ARPA lawsuit. Attorney-client privilege prevents me from discussing where we stand on things in public, but if any council members would like to get updated on where we stand and what the prospects are for mediation, give either Councilmember Shu or myself a ring.
You're next. Mr. McKay, do you have anything to report?
Nothing that I've done. I'm anticipating the COG meeting next week. And I'm trying to read your notes to how it would have benefit to the city. I actually have had some vacation time and I've been cutting weeds in the alley and trying to refurbish my lawn so that it benefits the city by my corner looking more presentable.
And I can attest he has been working real hard. Drive by and see him working on it.
Sorry, that's what it is.
And as a matter of fact, he supports local businesses, because I saw some Leone material. Mr. Shu.
No, I don't have anything except what me and Michelle were working on.
Okay, and then, so that's this Thursday,
Well, really all day and tomorrow.
and Ms. Bolton.
I only have one thing, and that is I'd like to thank the organizers of the Water Festival. They provided an incredible day for the children of our community, and I was very pleased to spend the day there volunteering. I think I saw Mr. Bernardo poke his head in at one point in
You have to
time.
be a cat on.
Yes, I was the water
I saw
wizard.
that. Oh, I would have gone.
And of course, there were employees from the city assisting and the water department assisting, and Mr. Aker was he was there as well, and it was just a great day. Very nice time.
I can attest the water wizard asked some pretty tough questions.
Very good. We should have got a photograph of that.
Yeah.
You did, okay, good. And I don't have anything to report other than to thank the Chamber for the wonderful event for the Armed Forces Day parade, and it was a pleasure. It's beautiful to honor our veterans, and I just hope that next year we have a bigger event.
I just have one more thing that-
Oh, yes, Mr. Bernard.
Another thing I'd like to see, I had a chance to visit with Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Mauer, and he was giving me a little update of where him and his men are gonna be stationed for about another month, and that was in California, working in the hot desert out there and training and doing battle against some other squadrons. So I just like, excuse me, I would just like to say to all of us to keep Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Mauer in our prayers, and also all these men that go with him, because they're very important to us.
I believe they're going to be deployed to the Middle East sometime this coming October. And with issues occurring in Syria right now, Iran, and of course North Korea, they will be in harm's way, so they do need our support. Thank you, Mr. Bernard.
Thank you.
Now, the next agenda item is, I beg your pardon?
Carol,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had one
Yes, ma'am.
question.
I didn't see that.
Afterthought. Mr. Aker, will we be participating in the coal car race?
We can, in fact, Ms. Rodolfi's got a form that I believe she's going to get out to everyone to see if you would like to participate, but we can register a team if we would like.
Do we still have a car?
I hear we have a car, and we need to find a light person to put in the car.
That eliminates me. I have too much ballast.
But if council desires, we'll go ahead and get the team, we'll get a council/staff team together.
I think it would be a good showing for us to participate.
Me as well. Thank you for bringing that up.
And I believe it was Ms. Rodolfi who was the person in the car being pushed. Right. So,
They have some great competitors in that race. That one really happened.
That first year was fun.
That really was a big hit
It
with
was.
festival attendees, and very enjoyable.
We'll get it taken care of.
We'll put-
Thank you, Ms. Bolton, for reminding us about that opportunity. The next agenda item is number 6, and that's the report by the city manager and the city attorney. And Mr. Aker, when you're ready, sir, you may enlighten us.
I'm ready. I wanted to, there were several things that were at your place tonight. I know we tried not to overwhelm you, but this week seemed to be heavy on some information. But one thing that we got on Friday, and it didn't get in the packet, is we got a commendation from the state of Colorado House of Representatives on City of Trinidad National Train Day Showcase. This just showed up in my office with no note, just here. So if someone was behind this, I thank you for behalf of the city. This is quite an honor we did have a good showing out there, National Train Day, I understand. I was not able to attend, but you've all got copies of this. I wanted to bring this to your attention. And on the subject of train and Southwest Chief, Mr. Klein from La Hunt and I are trying to coordinate what we're saying at the regional transportation meetings to try to get CDOT's attention in this area as well for funding the Southwest Chief and what we can do to keep that going. Also in your packet, in addition to the information from the Arts and Cultural Advisory Commission, I provided, there's a question about the difference between general electric service and large light and power rates. Give me a call if you need some additional information, but there is some differences. It's related really to the demand that is placed on the electric utility. And then also there's some more information about the Regional Transportation Committee meetings coming up next week. A couple of things that I've been doing. Today I met with Dr. Bowen at Trinidad State Junior College. Actually got a tour of the campus. Talked with him a little bit. I will be providing you some additional information on some of the programs. I want to get you copies of some of the information he provided me, and also the economic benefit of having the school, the college in Trinidad. I think as he is leaving, he's going to make sure I get introduced to the new president. I think we can have a good working relationship like we've been doing with the county. We're starting with the school district. I think we'll continue with that because I think there's a benefit to both of us. So I did have that meeting with him. On the 20th, I met up in Fort Carson with the feasibility collaboration group. I put that information in your packet as well as an attachment. That's a program that started, actually predated my presence here, but it's working with the Army. They're trying to figure ways to save money as well, but also to see if there's some joint efforts. Probably the most significant one for Trinidad in this first trial phase is trying to work with them as far as recycling. They don't recycle out of Pinyon Canyon. It's just too far of a distance. We take an awful lot of their things that can be recycled in the landfill. We're trying to figure a way on how we can combine their efforts with the efforts that we do periodically to make it cost effective. We don't know if it's going to pan out or not. At least we're having discussions. I think the long-term impact is we increase the life of our landfill. Last week I read Duck on the Bike. That was an enjoyable time over at the library. I've also had the ED meeting, had the SET meeting, and then the Southern Colorado Working Group meeting was here in Trinidad at the courthouse. Out of that meeting, the county administrator and myself are trying to put together a plan to have some PTAC training, and also talked with some of the folks from Fort Carson on providing some mentorship opportunities for current businesses in the area and the region that have got government contracts actually work closely with new businesses to try to help them gain some of that expertise. So that's some of the activities I've had. I'm still in the throes of making a decision on the finance director. Hope to have that done this week. Had some last minute reference checks I need to discuss, and as soon as we get someone announced, I will let you know.
Any questions for the city manager? I like the PTAC training and the mentorship idea, because I know, like, for example, Red Wing has been through that training, and I think they're now eligible for government contracts, whether it's somebody like TSJC, the military, or whatever. So if other local merchants can take advantage of that expertise and understanding, I think that would help some of our other businesses be more competitive.
I think it could help. In my past life, when I was an environmental consultant, I worked for a large firm. We often mentored smaller firms to bring their capabilities up to where they could work with us on larger contracts. So I think there's some benefits there that will help out in the future.
Thank you. Ms. Miles?
Thank you for getting the flags up.
You're quite welcome. And I know staff talked to me today, and they said they want to go back and kind of tighten some of them up, but now we'll just
No, they
see.
look good.
They look good, so thank you very much.
And people ask me this question all the time. I seem to remember from discussions some time ago that these are different than the flags we got before. These are going to be more weather resistant.
We hope they're more weather resistant. They're a little bit smaller in size. I guess time and weather conditions will tell. The other item that I should mention is I had provided you some informational item on the charter information. I would like to bring that back at a future work session. I don't know if council desires, we can be ready to talk about it at next week's work session, or if you want a little bit more time to digest it, we can schedule it for June as well. So if you'll just let me know or tell me tonight, that would be, we can get it scheduled.
Is there any preference among council as to when we might visit the charter issues?
Well, I think it's a long discussion.
Yeah.
I certainly want to put it on the agenda that wasn't too full.
Yeah.
But the sooner the better. There's a lot to go over.
I think let me take a look at the 28th. I think we can manage that. I guess the question I would have is, and I sent out tonight electronically, the code discussion. I don't think we want to do those at the same time. I think that would make an awful long meeting. And then also on the 28th, I believe we have the joint school district council meeting. I sent that information out as well. So that could make a long day potentially. Should we shoot for, we could get it started certainly during that meeting, but we could shoot for the second meeting in the first work session meeting in June as well.
Any preferences from council?
Why don't we at least put it on the agenda and see if we can get it started, and we can decide how long we spent on other issues.
Okay, I'll do that.
And will the nonprofit issue be coming up on our next week's
Yes,
work
it should
session?
be as well.
Anything else from council?
Thank you.
And Mr. Downs,
Madam Mayor.
you're at bat.
I really, aside from what I've already done and things upcoming, the only thing I want to let everybody know is that Governor Hickenlooper on Tuesday of next week at 11 o'clock is going to be signing the legislation that was started by Amendment 64. 2 House bills, one Senate bill, that's where they originated. All the legislation was passed in time by the legislature, and I was wondering why I hadn't read anything. You know, the legislative session ended, I believe it was May 8th, and I had not read anything about there being any signing on that, but it is going to happen next Tuesday. I actually called the governor's office to inquire as to when that was going to happen. But again, that'll be Tuesday at 11 o'clock. I guess there was going to be some kind of big ceremony. But anyway, that is my exciting report to you. I know we're very anxious to hear that. Just kidding.
So basically, after he signs it, I imagine there might be a more flurry of information provided to us from Colorado Municipal League and maybe the state.
That's correct. And of course, trying to get all the Department of Revenue regulations and everything in place by July. And it's going to be nice going to the June seminar, the CML seminar. But I know you, Madam Mayor, and I believe Mr. Aker are going to as well. They have a big production on Amendment 64 and a presentation on that. So it'll be nice to actually see other municipal people, since I've been kind of sheltered in my time here. But anyway, so there was another point I was going to make. The last point, and that is, it looks like one of the big recommendations is going to be that only existing medicinal dispensaries sell recreational marijuana for the first year. So, and I know I've mentioned that to you, that is going to evidently be a legal requirement. So since we do not have a dispensary, we won't really be able to participate in 2014. Doesn't look like, but that's all I have.
Any questions from council for Mr. Downs? Thank you.
Thank you.
The next agenda item is item 7A, and that is to consider the approval of a 3.2 beer retail off-premises renewal request by Safeway Stores Incorporated, doing business as Safeway Store number 722, located at 457 West Main Street. And I see we have a representative from the establishment present in the meeting. Would you care to step forward and identify yourself, sir?
My name is Steve Forbes. I'm the store manager at Safeway.
Thank you for being here this evening. If everything, well, let me ask, are there any comments or questions from council members on this application for